Hello, farmers, and welcome to another episode of the harvest season. My name is Al,
And my name is Kelly.
and we are here today to talk about cottage core games.
Woo!
Woo! Uh, welcome back, Kelly. Always good to
It's
have you.
always fun to be back. I feel like we talked so recently and yet so long ago. Uh, it really wasn't that long ago.
Let's have a look. Your last episode was Grimoire Groves, and that was in
Yeah,
March.
yeah,
So 2 months.
yeah.
I have not played that game since that episode.
I completed everything.
Hmm,
Everything, everything. And then I
impressive.
put the game down and never picked it back up again.
Hmm, fair.
It
That's
was
how I
fun.
play most games, to be fair.
Me too, but like usually I don't go like full completionist mode. I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
pick
yeah.
things that I want to complete or like give myself goals. Otherwise, I like kind of lose motivation sometimes.
Fair enough. And then
But
you were
I
on the
was
fields
determined.
of then you were on the fields of Mystria before that. Have you played the update?
No, I really enjoyed the portion that I played, but I decided that was enough and I'm just gonna wait for the full game.
Yeah, I have done the same also. I was really tempted to jump in the last update, but I'm like, no, let's
Hmm.
not do it. Let's not do it. Don't ruin it for yourself. Wait for the
Yep.
full game.
That's why I ended up picking up Sunhaven instead.
Yes. Well,
Because I was
let's
like, you know
let's
what, that's a
well,
completed game.
let's get into that then. So, just before we get into that, we're going to talk about Ratopia this episode. Ratopia. This episode because it has just come out in 1.0, and Kelly has previously played it. So I thought we would talk about that. Before that, obviously, we'll have our regular news. But first of all, Kelly, what have you been up to?
Playing Sunhaven.
Woo!
Woo! I also
I
got 15 yards of dirt delivered to my driveway so I could fix my backyard. So that's
wait, I have questions. Why is it measured in distance?
I don't have that answer. Do you know how I
How,
had to figure out what 15 yards of dirt was, Al? I had to go on YouTube and watch a video of a dump truck delivering 15 yards of dirt to someone's driveway.
so presumably it's like a set thickness, right?
I guess.
You're
Because
the
they
one
also
that's
do
had it
like,
delivered.
yeah, Al, this was through like Facebook Market. This is just like, I don't know, the standard measurement that they use though, because it's like cubic yards and cubic feet are used
Oh, so
for soil.
is it it's cubic yards, not yards.
I don't know because
Because that's a bit
they only
because
said yards.
cubic yards is a vol. Yeah, so it sounds like they're just like
It's
automatically
probably
shortening it
cubic
then.
yards, and I just never
Because
considered
cubic
it.
yards is a volume. That's how you
Yes.
measure something like
Yes,
soil.
that's how I do my soil. Like I do soil calculations in cubic yards. I just didn't put two and two together because it just
Yeah.
straight up said yards.
That's just laziness, I think, on behalf of people selling it.
Yeah. But no, I literally watched YouTube videos on dirt delivery to figure out how much dirt this would be.
Although I also have a question about that because this is a thing that Americans do a lot is you measure things by volume
Yes.
when that can be very inaccurate for certain
Yeah.
things, right? Like it's all
Yes.
very well and good measuring liquids by volume because they stay the same, right? You're not going
Yeah.
to add extra air in between
No,
grains of
listen,
water.
I do a lot of baking. All of my
Yeah.
baking is done by weight.
Yeah.
I convert recipes all the time.
Yeah.
Um, I'm pretty sure that they do it this way so that they can like, okay, this was free dirt, so it's like trash as it is.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's like clearly they want to do it by volume and not weight so that they can give me things like a 2 foot long concrete rock inside of my dirt pile.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
For
know,
sure. For
like
sure.
that's I don't know about the other things because I'm assuming when people buy nice soil, they're not getting giant rocks in their nice
Yeah.
soil. But I
I
think I think it's a I think that's part of it. I don't know.
You weren't buying high quality topsoil, that's for sure. Um,
No, it's free dirt.
but yeah, the baking one is funny, right? Because I understand the want to do it in volume, right? Like there's a lot of cooking that I do where I do it by volume because it's quicker, right? Like
Yes, yeah.
I quite often will make like I do like oat breakfast cookies quite
Hmm.
often, and I'll just use one of my measuring spoons and I'll just like throw. half a cup into a bowl, right? Because it's
Yeah.
quick and it's dirty, and it doesn't really matter because if it's
You're getting
slightly off,
cookies
it's
no matter
fine.
what. Yeah,
Exactly, right?
exactly.
It does the job. But like when you're if I'm baking a cake, like I'm weighing out that flour,
Yep.
right? Like I'm
Yeah, oh
not
yeah.
but you'll see recipes online all the time and it's like a cup of flour. And I'm like, first of all, there is no single standard cup. Did you know our cups are different than your cups? Did you know that?
Yes.
Fun. Isn't that super fun to
It's
learn about after
that's what
I've
pisses
spent
me off.
following American recipes for years?
That's what pisses me off when like a lot of good baking recipes will include both the
Yes.
grams
Yeah.
or whatever ounces
You'll
and
click
then
the little button and
also
it will change them. Yes, it's nice. I
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
the ones that don't are so questionable because it's like well, did you pack the flour when you put it in the cup?
Yeah,
What
exactly.
do our cups match?
How
Yeah, it's very
aerated is your
frustrating.
flour?
It's very I do a lot of math when I do baking, so it's very interesting, I
And
guess.
this is why I don't do much baking because I like cooking where I can just like throw things in and it'll
Yeah,
taste good. And it'll taste good. And if it doesn't taste good, I add in something else and it tastes good now. Right? Like, but
that's
baking,
yeah.
if you muck up the measurements, you're getting a pile of mush.
I will say I'm definitely doing like a dirty sourdough at the moment for the
Hmm.
starter because I
Okay.
used to be very anal and I would measure everything out. And after like I guess 4 or 5 years of doing sourdough starters, I just like I understand what the consistency needs to be.
Yeah, yeah, that's very different. If you're doing the same thing all the
Yeah.
time, you know what it needs to be, and you just
But
get
there's
used to
definitely
that.
some things that I kind of like mess around with in baking where I think other people might not.
Hmm.
And it's like in the end, it still tastes great.
Hmm.
And it's my little science experiment, you know?
Yeah, I know for sure.
But no, I love cooking and baking for the two different reasons. Like one is my little science chemistry set, then the other one is like throw whatever the hell you want into a pan and see what happens.
Yeah, I like the idea of baking, and I sit with a pack of flour in my cupboard and I watch as it goes out of date, because it's just like it's a whole other m- mindset you have to be in before
Yes.
you can actually realistically do that, and that yeah.
Yeah, it's a different commitment.
I've had a recipe for like a specific kind of flatbread for months and I've not done it yet. And that's not even like proper baking. That's just bread.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's I've been meaning to make like a brioche bread for months and I just keep putting it off because I'm like I don't want to deal with it.
So much brain space. Anyway, Sunhaven.
Yes, Sunhaven has been a lot of fun.
Apparently that's what we were talking about.
Um I like the different mechanics that they've added into it. I enjoy having magic.
Yep.
I wouldn't say it's like the most thrilling farming game I've ever played, but I think it's overwhelming in a way that keeps my attention.
Interesting.
Like having the different farms and different areas.
It's quite story based as well, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
How are you
There's a
finding that?
lot. It's good. I don't always pay attention to stories in games, so I'm not the best person.
Yeah, same.
Um, I will say sometimes I look over to the characters though, and my eyes go a bit wide. I'm like, all right, you guys don't have that much clothes on.
Hmm. I backed this game on Kickstarter and I've had it in my Steam library now for a couple of years. I've not done
Have you
anything with
played
it.
it?
I've not, no. It's I
I
think part of my problem is there's like a time frame after a game comes out where if I don't play a game in that time period, I'm probably never playing it.
hmm Yeah, and that's hard because you have games that like you want to play and also games you have to play.
Let me tell you how many games have come out this year, purely farming games. We are currently at 20. 20 games have come out this year so far. No, actually, I'm wrong. 22. No, 24. 25. 25 games that I am
By
tracking
May.
on this podcast by the 10th of May. There's more
That's
coming out in May. There's another 3 on the list that are releasing this month.
Are they flooding the market?
It's the Stardew effect. We're just at that
It
time
is.
period. We are, was this 8 years after Stardew got popular?
Yeah,
So it just everybody's finishing up their Stardew clones.
that is very true. And like, I mean, unfortunately, like Sunhaven does fall into that.
Yeah.
Um, but like again, I think it's not the most unique farming game I've ever played, but I do like some of the things that they've added. I also just find it like comforting. I like a good micromanaging game.
Yeah, yeah. I'll talk about mine in a minute, but yeah, I totally agree with that.
Um,
I
and I do
wonder.
like that you don't spend energy.
Oh, interest. Yeah, so we're definitely gonna have to talk about this game then, because I am also playing a game which doesn't have energy,
Oh,
and that
it's
is,
a fun mechanic to like
yeah,
not worry about.
I am very much enjoying it.
It's really nice. Like, oh, there's still always the time, crunch or
Yeah,
whatever, but
yeah.
like, oh, I don't have to eat 10,000 apples just because I want to hit a few more rocks.
This is the thing that's always annoyed me about farming games is you've got two limitations.
Hmm.
You've got the time and the energy, and removing one or the other of them, because Ever After Falls, which is what I'm playing, and Sunhaven, which is what you're playing, both remove the stamina. But Sugar Dew Valley, which we'll talk about in the news section, it removed the time aspect, where it's essentially turn based. So you do your stuff, and then there's two phases to the day. There's the day phase and the night phase, and the night phase is when you open the shop. So it's like you do whatever you want to do, and then you go and open the shop, and then when you close the shop, it's bedtime. Um,
Oh, that's sick.
so I like that I mean, it's not a good game; it's a bad game, but it was interest. That was an interesting thing,
Yeah, yeah,
and I
yeah, yeah.
like that
Sometimes
games are
bad
now trying to
games.
play around with these things a little bit more.
Yeah, it's which I think, that's one of the things that we benefit from at like the time point we're in
Yeah,
post Stardew
yeah, for sure.
is like obviously a lot of copies came out, but I think we're really starting to see people like try to change the formula a little bit.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep. So we'll see how those things go. But okay, so you're enjoying Sunhaven.
Yes, I have put over 100 hours into it so far.
Let me schedule that episode then. Sunhaven. Kelly. We'll see when we do that. Um, I've been meaning to play it for so long. Maybe I can finally play it if I've got a date
You're the
to
reason I actually
record on
picked
it.
it up, I think, is because we were
Aha.
talking about it during the Grimoire podcast.
Right, okay. Was it in the news then?
Probably. I know it got mentioned. It was probably like a brief mentioning, but I think it was the news.
I mentioned so many things. Come on.
So you influenced me. Congrats.
Well, I have obviously been playing Ratopia. I've only been playing the demo. We'll get to that later.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've been playing the demo of Ratopia. I've also been playing Ever After Falls, and I have put in about 60 hours in that game so far. So it hooked me.
What what's that one?
So that's just another Stardew clone, but it
Okay.
um obviously, as I said, it doesn't have the stamina aspect. But it's, let's see, how would I describe? So its premise is slightly different, where you you die at the beginning of the game and then wake up and turns out that your real life was a simulation and now you're in another world with a farm.
Oh, interesting. So really playing on people's like sim psychosis
Yeah, yeah,
fears.
yeah, for sure. And it it's very solid, I would say. Probably much like what you're talking about with Sunhaven. It's like a solid farming game, and it has definitely caught that bug that I have for I must I must do this thing, and I'm building up this farm, and that is what I'm doing. Um, and I've been enjoying that. I have some things to talk about it that I'm going to talk about in a future episode that I found interesting. Um, but I think if you like Stardew and you've been like, I must have another one and I'm done with Stardew, I want a different this, it's a pretty solid one.
The graphics look really cute too.
Yeah, that's what initially grabbed me in. And the animation of it is fun as well. Like your character's arms are not attached to the body and they kind of like swing really funny as you walk around. Um, and there's a few other things like you've got like pixies that you can catch and put them on things and you'll get like wood or ore without actually cutting the thing down, and that's kind of
Oh,
like
that's
around.
cool.
It's trying to encourage sustainability.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah, there's
but
a few
like
bits and pieces.
it's that solid game. Sometimes you don't need anything innovative or
Yeah,
crazy different. It's just a nice comforting game.
yeah. So that's what I've mostly been playing. I have also so two Pixelia came out, and I had backed that game. So this is like a life sim in a kind of Stardew style, but it's much more. It's almost, I guess, GTA esque.
I was gonna say it
Uh,
looks like kind of reminds me of like I don't want to say Sim City, but like
I guess it would
something
be
like that.
it would be SimCity if you were actually controlling an individual.
Yeah, that's which I guess is kind of like the Ratopia of also.
Yeah. I think it's different from that in so much as like you don't have any control over anyone else. You're just
Mm.
living your own life. But you can do crime and stuff like that.
Okay, that's cool. That's fun.
What I will say is I've not properly played it because it doesn't have controller support. So
Oh, you don't
later,
do mouse and keyboard?
I play on my Steam Deck.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't consider that. Why would they put anything on the Steam Deck that doesn't have?
Well, anything on Steam goes on the Steam Deck by default.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but
And
like,
most games coming out now will have controller support. It's a good question as to why it doesn't have controller support yet, and I do not know the answer. They have said that they're adding controller support soon, but
okay,
yeah, I'm just like,
hopefully.
why?
Like, I get what you're saying. Like, obviously, they push everything from Steam to it, but like, you would think that there would be like some kind of filter.
They have a
Like,
compatibility thing, and it currently has an unknown compatibility for Steam Deck.
okay.
So, but whatever. Yeah, I opened it up, went, yeah, no, closed it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very
Uh,
fair.
I'll try it again once you've added controller support. Please and thank you. Um, so yeah,
Interesting concept, though.
yeah. Well, I want to try it. That's the thing. I like what it is saying it's doing. It has mixed reviews on Steam just now, so who knows how that will go, but
Well,
we'll see.
you gotta try stuff.
All right, let's talk about some news.
Yay.
Tales
News.
Tales of Seikyu.
I think Seikyu, but like also I'm not a I don't know.
This is the game where you turn into
Yokai?
yokai. You turn into yokai.
The Seiku messed you up.
Yeah, this game is where you turn into yokai, um, uh, for like getting around and dealing with your crops and stuff like that. You have a whole bunch of different abilities for turning into different yokai that have different abilities to do these things. Um,
That's a cool
it,
concept.
yeah. I haven't decided whether I want to play this or not, but it is a thing. It is, and they've announced that their early access is coming on the 21st of May.
Oh, very soon.
Yes, very soon.
Okay.
I don't think this was a Kickstarter, so I won't have backed it. So don't buy it. I'm telling myself that, not other people. I can't be trusted. Yeah, not much else to say about that. They've just announced their early access is coming. One thing I didn't check is what they're expecting in terms of how long, because that's always an interesting thing, is how long they say they're going to be in early access for. They're expecting it to be about a year. So I suspect 2.5 years.
That sounds like good math.
Next, we have another update for Sugardew Island. So this game is bad game. Don't buy this game. Don't play this game. But they are making it less bad. Maybe someday it will be less bad enough that it will be worth buying. It probably won't be. So in this update, they've added sprinklers. So you can have sprinklers on the farm. Yay.
And you can discover seashells. How exciting.
It's such a, yeah, wow. I just, what
This is like really lackluster updates. I'm
well,
sorry.
lackluster updates for lackluster game.
Yeah,
That's
that
what I
makes
would say.
sense.
Um, they've also added key bindings support, so you can change your key bindings, which, yeah, good. I'm glad you should have had that at launch. I find this game so fascinating because it feels so much like a we need to do a farming game, so let's do a farming game. And the only interesting thing about it was the turn-based time in the day.
Which is like
It,
really cool concept,
it
which is
is,
that sounds so interesting.
but
They put
but
all
it's
their
just not
effort
good.
into that one concept and nothing else.
They've marked this as a major update on Steam. That is
Ugh.
something. Uh, yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna just say this, like then I think the name alone implies to me that there's not a lot of effort going on here.
Oh, Kelly, did you listen? You probably haven't listened to last week's episode, have you? There were
No.
two new games in last week's episode that were called Sunseed Island and Star Sand Island.
We gotta start like putting a ban on certain words for farm games.
Noun, noun, island, or valley.
If you have do in your name.
Yeah. This is good changes to the game, but that does not make a good game. Uh, it is I cannot see how either of these three tiny things in this major update would change this game from being bad to being good. Um, I have no interest in opening that game again. No, thank you.
Definitely good to know. I was very intrigued when you mentioned the turn-based and very disappointed when you immediately followed up with that it's a bad game.
Herein lies the problem. They do have a demo. You feel free to try the demo. I mean, some people like it, apparently. There are some positive reviews. Apparently, it's mostly positive. I, I don't know how.
Are they paying these people?
I really don't know. So, like, I, j- ah, every recommended person is like, oh, it's so nice. And you're like, but it's not. And all the not recommended is like, it is the most boring farming game with like so few features. Uh, it's like, it feels like a proof of concept. And then they didn't add the rest of the game. Um,
I don't know how Steam reviews work.
you just have to own it, I think.
Yeah, but like I think it tells you, right, if like they got it for free.
Oh, good question. Purchase type, Steam purchases and other. So other would be free ones, presumably.
That's what I would think. But like I meant more so too on like the oh no, never mind. 230 people found this review helpful.
Oh, is that the not recommended one at the top?
Yeah,
I can't believe I put 12 hours into this game. Absolutely mad.
that's a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours for a bad game. All right. Yeah, I'm going to stop
Next.
bashing this game. Moving on. Outlanders have announced a new DLC, The Culinary Diaries. Um, it looks like it's a food-based story addition to the game. This is a town building strategy game, Kelly.
Okay. It looks like a short hike or the Goose Game.
Yeah, I mean graphics wise, yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Um,
that's
it
what I'm basing that off of
it's
entirely.
very much management style game though,
Okay.
rather than uh,
Have you played this one?
I have not. There's too many games to play them all.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But yeah, it looks like it's added a whole bunch of cooking stuff. So if you enjoy this game, there you go. You got a new update, a new DLC. Oh, is it paid? That's a good question. I should check that.
It's
It
free,
is.
maybe.
It is. No, it's not free. It is $5. $5.
Oh, that's not bad.
It is not bad. They've got quite a few DLCs, which is interesting.
I,
They're all
I
five
noticed that.
dollars.
It seems like they have quite the DLC content going on.
Yeah, they also have very positive rating on Steam.
I
Not that that
think
tells us much because
no.
Sugardew Island, Sugar Valley Island, whatever, I don't care, had a positive, quite positive, was it, or something like that? I don't know. It was positive for some reason.
Hmm.
Um,
But I mean, like, I feel like generally, obviously, that's not true for everything. Games that tend to put out consistent DLC content, like, there's something good going on there.
yeah, it has 29 thumbs up on the Steam post and zero comments. So you've not got a whole bunch of people complaining about it being paid, which implies to me that some people are excited to buy it.
Yeah. And again, for $5, it's not a bad addition.
$5. All right. Next, we have some new games to talk about. First up, we have Turnip Beal. Oh,
You're not having a
words.
good day with the
Words fail me, Kelly.
I'm immediately adding this one to my wish list on Steam.
Turnip Boy steals them all. Have you played any Turnip Boy game?
I have not, um, not out of like not wanting to, but like just life.
So Turnip Boy commits tax evasion is great fun. It's a really good small RPG.
Hmm.
Um, I really liked that game. Turnip Boy robs a bank is similar in terms of its action, but it is a roguelite.
Oh, interesting. So not for Al.
I mean, I played it. I
Yeah.
let's see how many hours I put into it. I put in. I played it on Switch, not Steam, apparently. So I would need to look on my Switch, which I'm not doing right now. Um, I finished the game. I completed it, which I haven't done for many roguelites. Uh,
That says a lot. I didn't realize
apparently,
how new these games were, though. That's crazy that they've put out three games in like 4 years.
yeah. 10 hours is apparently what I put into it to complete the game.
Oh,
Um,
that's like a solid, cute little short game.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about them. They're not super long. You know, you're not
Hmm.
looking at 50 hours. You're looking at up to 10. Um, with Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, I 100%ed it. I didn't 100% Robs a Bank, but I did complete the story. I
Okay.
completed our run, which is enough for a roguelite for me. Um, considering I, only got a third of the way through a run in Hades. Um,
Classic.
defeated the first boss, then died in the next level and went, I'm not playing that boss again. Put the game down.
Where's your dedication to pain?
Nowhere. So yes, right, okay. So this is a new Turnip Boy game. Don't get excited. It is not an RPG. It is not like the previous Turnip Boy games. It is an endless runner for some reason.
Very, they found like their niche little like theme with the Turnip Boy, but like it's very interesting that each game is different.
Yeah. I, so what I've said in my notes here is I'll buy and play a new Turnip Boy game, right? Like because I like Turnip Boy, but
Hmm.
I'm a little bit disappointed that it's the third game and it's not like the first. Because yeah, the second one was different, but it was the same as well. Like it was a roguelite, but it was still like a combat game in the
Mm,
same way that the other one was, right? The controls were the same, you controlled the player the same, you still had a weapon in the same way, and there weren't as many puzzles, right? The first one had more puzzles, but it was still there
mm.
was the same combat and stuff like that. And this is very much not that. So I'm a little bit sad about that. Um, I guess that's fine. You know, they can do what they want, but yeah, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it, and I'm sure I'll enjoy it. But I want another Turnip Boy. Turnip Boy was so good. It was
I've literally
funny.
only heard good things about it. Like, I feel like they really like Turnip Boy made himself into a thing.
Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion was a lovely RPG that you could 100% in 10 hours, and it was funny. It had a fun little story. It had some good combat that was actually challenging, especially near the end, and it was good fun. Turnip Boy Robs a Bank had the challenging combat, and it had some of the funny story, and other than that, it missed the rest of it. And this presumably will have the same humor, but
But that's
that's
it.
it.
So they're
And
just slowly degrading the game.
I feel bad saying that because I suspect it's not like they're making this instead of another RPG, right? Like I think
Yeah, yeah.
they had an idea for doing this and they've done it as Turnip Boy. I'm just like when I saw there's a new Turnip Boy game, I went, "Oh yes, great." And I looked at it and went, "This is nothing like
Yeah. No,
them
I was
at
just
all."
being a little cynical, but I agree. I think that's They're just trying different avenues. It's not like, oh, this is like a quick grab or something.
Yeah, yeah, no, I get that, but yeah, I'm not saying it's going to be a bad game. It's just one of these
Yeah.
things where it's like if you would hear, oh, you know, uh, say you didn't know about Silk Song, right? And you heard Silk Song's coming out. It's uh a new Hollow Knight game. You're like, oh, fantastic, exciting, and then it turns out it's solitaire, right?
Yeah,
Like
that
that's
would,
essentially what we've had here.
yeah, that's very
Okay.
true.
And I'm like, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I saw new Turnip Boy game,
You want Turnip
excited.
Boy?
It's
Yeah.
not that. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
No,
guess
that's the hard part.
this is the problem with like spin-offs and stuff like that, right? Because this is what this is. It's a spin-off. It's not a sequel, it's a spin-off. And I'm
Hmm.
not saying they can't do that. I'm just like my expectations going in was different and I don't know how they solve that problem, but that's where we are.
Well, maybe they're working on that perfect Turnip Boy sequel
Well,
in
they're
the
working
back
on a
end.
different game just now as well,
Mm.
Hobnobbers, which I don't think is out yet. Let me check. Yeah, it's not. It's still coming soon. So I suspect that the Hobnobbers is their upcoming big game, and Turnip
This
Boy
is
Steals
the
Them All is a
hmm
let's do a quick and easy, fun, endless runner that some people can buy, and it will help our cash reserves.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, speaking of their cash reserves, they're also releasing a cubified Turnip Boy plushie. I don't need it.
It's so cute though, and they have to reach their funded goal.
It's $40. Oh
Oh my
my
God.
word. 40. This thing better be huge. How big is this? It's 35 centimeters tall, so it is reasonably big, but that's a lot of money.
But it looks so soft.
And what is the shipping going to be to me?
I
Probably
don't
too
need this. What is the shipping?
much.
How much tariff would I have to pay to receive this?
Oh, $15 shipping to me.
Ugh.
$55.
Okay, but he's so cute.
It is only £40, but I'm enjoying the dollar has sunk in value, by the way. That's making my life cheaper.
Oh, I'm so glad that someone's benefiting from this.
um ooh.
Oh, I see. There is a tariff statement at the top. God, I love living in this timeline.
I don't need it. Anyway, so Cube, Turnip Cube, or Cube Boy, whatever you'd like to call him. He exists.
He's very cute.
Yeah.
He looks like he's
Uh
like that good soft material too,
yeah.
like Squishmallows.
But
I'm just gonna
not.
keep talking until you feel bad, and then you add yourself to the list of people buying it.
Everdream Valley have announced and released, I think this is out now, Everdream Valley VR, a virtual reality
Oh,
version of Everdream Valley.
oh, I don't like that at all. I can't look at that. I think I would
uh,
puke if I ever did VR.
um, I, I I played. There was a game that I played which was like in VR, but it was augmented reality rather than virtual reality. So you're seeing the world around you as well, and you like create these
Okay.
little islands where you put animals on them. I love that game. It's such a good game.
That seems cuter and like probably wouldn't give me motion sickness maybe.
It definitely is much better. This I oh
I literally can't
yeah.
look at that
I
cow
don't
clip.
I don't know what to say about this game. Uh, this kind of looks like a proof of concept. This looks thrown together.
It doesn't look
Um,
good.
oh, it's not out yet. It's coming soon, but you can
No,
pre-order it.
yeah, but like that cow clip does not look good.
No, no. Um,
Also, like I don't maybe I'm biased because I don't like VR, but like I thought we were kind of coming down from like the VR spike, I guess.
I don't know why they've done this. Like, and I have a VR headset and I love it for some things. I
Hmm.
love Beat Saber. I love whatever the name of the game is. I can't remember what the name of the game is.
Beat Saber looks so sick. I think that's like the the sole game that would sell me on VR.
It is the single thing that convinces anybody to buy VR. It is so good. I love it so much. Um, but that watching films in IMAX and whatever the name of the other game I play, the one with the islands of animals, those are the three things I've done more than
Okay.
once on my VR headset, right? Like there's other things that you've tried once or whatever and gone,
Yeah.
not for me. I'm not playing this game for
Yeah, no.
content.
And it's a separate game, right? Like, yeah, you have to pay.
Yeah. It's $20, I think.
You could pre-order it for 15.
Yeah. £12. The content. Hmm.
But yeah, no, I feel like a lot of the VR games just feel like novelty.
Tune in next time to see if I've bought this game or not. All right. That's the news. Let's talk about Ratopia.
Yay.
All right.
I'm
I'm
just so
gonna.
glad it came out. Can I say that as someone
Yep.
who is waiting on so many different stupid games? It is so nice to get a full release.
Okay. I want to try and describe this game, and you can tell me what you think about my description.
Okay.
So you are the queen of a new rat city, and you are building your city out. You it's almost it almost is like it is a city builder, but it is a an RPG city builder, right? So you're controlling a character
Hmm.
and you are building up this city. You're you're saying this is where buildings go, and you're saying this is where different things go, and this is these are the laws of the city and stuff like that. And you also accept in new members, or new citizens.
Hmm.
They call them they call them migrants, or is it
I
refugees?
think
I
it's
can't remember.
migrants.
It's one of
It's
the
something
two.
with an M. I know that.
I
I
think it's
can't.
my yeah, it'll be migrants then. And when you accept migrants in, you can then put them to work. So I guess the two main ways of playing the game are you are controlling your individual character who goes around and can do things, and then you're also directing your citizens to do things as well, so you don't have to do them instead. Um, and that can be basically anything, right? You can get them to man a specific building to like cut lumber, or you can get them to dig. I think automatically they will like gather up everything that's
Hmm.
on the ground and put it in the chest. But that's it. It's a city builder, but you are controlling an individual character as well as telling other characters what to do. Is that a fair
Yes,
description of the game?
I think it is. Also, it's vertical
What does that mean?
builder.
What do you mean? Oh, like a
Like
two D. Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. It's
yeah, yeah,
two
yeah.
side scrolling,
Yes, but like you're
up and
building
downy.
vertically, which I think is
Yes,
like more Terraria than like other.
I was just going to say that Terraria is the would be the example.
I would say this is like a micromanager's final boss game.
Oh my word, so micromanaging.
It makes my heart sing. It's incredible and so stressful.
So let me tell you let me tell you my thought process when starting this game. I've not put in like I've maybe put in less than an hour into this game, but
Okay.
the demo is really good at showing you the core concept of the game really quickly. And I don't know if the main game does it in the same way, but um so you start out and you're like, oh, you're this great, that's fine. I'm gonna go do some digging and blah 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 blah. Oh man, I can only carry three things at once, and there's only three of the same thing. Oh, that's really frustrating. Oh goodness, right. This is gonna take forever to do anything. It's like you dig, 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 and then you throw in the chest, and then you dig, 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 and you throw in the chest. Right, fine, whatever. This is really annoying. Oh, okay, right. I'm adding in new people to my city. Okay, fine. Oh, they're all picking up the things that I can do. So I can just go now and dig and dig and dig and dig, and they
Hmm.
will take the thing. Great, that's a much improvement. And then it's like, oh, and then it goes, oh, you need to build this thing. And you're like, how? How do I do this? And it's like,
Yeah.
you go into this menu, and this menu then expands and expands and expands. And it's like this web, absolute massive web of different parts of different menus. And you're just like, I have no idea what's happening here. And it's just, it is, if you enjoy not creating spreadsheets, but if you enjoy looking at somebody else's spreadsheets and figuring out what they do, you will like this game.
I think
I
that is a fair, not metaphor, what is the word I'm looking for? Summation of essentially all of the aspects of this game.
Where I enjoy making spreadsheets, I do not enjoy figuring out what other people have done. And that's what the menu felt like. I'm like,
Mm,
I want this thing, but I need to figure out what category they put it in, what category of what category,
yes,
and what menu of what setting, and then where in this category is it, because it's just like this mess of
yes.
things. And I I don't like figuring out what people think in the best of times. and and it just feels like it's like, yeah, somebody made this game and this is how they decided was the most logical thing for their brain, and I cannot be bothered spending my time figuring out why they decided this was going to work.
I think that is a very fair way to see it because like that's I think that's exactly how it is. But also like I feel like once it starts clicking, it starts making more sense. Because like for me, I really enjoy trying to figure out how people are thinking because I think that's the only way I can understand vaguely people.
Yeah.
So it's like a puzzle. So I think the puzzle of trying to understand the thought process is kind of fun. Also frustrating though. Like there's definitely been moments where I'm like, this stupid rat has to pee. How do I fix this?
Yes.
Like, what do you mean they can't do this task?
I think that part of it is I didn't hate, right? Because it's like you're just your
No,
standard city builder thing. It's
no,
like
it's not bad.
you need to balance all these things and you need to figure out how they balance. Fine, sure, whatever.
Yes, it's just,
My
I
problem,
think
I just felt like I was navigating menus for 90% of the time.
it's a lot of menus. I did see someone say that they didn't like that the game paused when you opened the menu to like build something. And in my head, I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
All right, Souls player.
Yeah. I was like, what
Goodness
kind of game do you
me.
think this is? That's crazy.
Masochistic person.
That, like, I watched that and I was like, what the hell kind of person are you?
Oh my
That's
word.
sick. That's sicko behavior.
Horrifying.
It's like, please keep those thoughts to yourself, and they better never implement that in this game.
Yeah, that how to make this game more stressful.
Yeah, literally, like you said, so the Souls-like version. That's disgusting. Don't ever t tell people that.
Oh,
Like,
it's
I
like the
need that pause to figure out what I'm doing.
yeah, it was like the kid who said, "Is it time for a test in school?" And you're like, "No, what are you
You
doing?"
didn't
What?
collect our homework.
Yeah. Oh,
But yeah, no, that blew my mind because I was like, people think like this? Why would you want that?
so yeah, I think I mean we're apparently getting straight into my opinions. I can I this is not the game for me, but I 100% can see why someone would like this.
I think
100%.
that's very fair. And I do overall, I think this game, there is so much going on.
Mhm.
And I like RimWorld a lot. I don't know half of the shit I'm supposed to be doing in RimWorld because there's just so much in that game. I don't even buy the DLCs for that game. I just like playing the game. I figure things out as the game goes on. I've been playing it for a few years. Things will
Yeah.
happen. Bad things happen. Sometimes you die.
Do you know what I think? What I think interesting was I think that while I was playing this game, I think I was thinking, you know what, I would have more fun doing probably what is Terraria, right? Like I feel like
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking for if I would be wanting to play this game. It's I I want it simpler. I'm not. It's not
that's
necessarily even the action adventure bit, right? Like it's
yeah.
more. I I was thinking like this, but Minecraft. And then I was like, wait, but
Mm.
that's Terraria, right? Like,
That's so funny because I've actually never played. I missed the boat on Terraria, and I've also never played Minecraft because I 100% missed the boat on that one.
mm,
I feel like at a certain point, like I think I would still enjoy Minecraft, but at this point in my life, I'm just like I cannot pick up Minecraft.
that's totally fair. That's Minecraft was my like I got in literally the last day of alpha
Oh wow.
in Minecraft. So that was back on in 2010, I want to say.
And I
And
know
that was
people are
like
still playing it. I
I
know,
was
it's
oh
still a
yeah, yeah.
relevant game.
Oh, absolutely. But I was like part of the way through uni at that point, university. So like
Yeah, yeah.
I was very much in a world where I could sit up till 3 in the morning obsessing over stuff, and I loved the building aspect of that. So if I obviously I do not have any numbers for how much time I spent on Minecraft because it wasn't through Steam and nothing exists for that. But if I did have numbers, I would probably be incredibly scared to share that number with anyone, right? Like,
That's how I feel about my Sims numbers. I'm
yeah,
so glad I don't have those.
yeah, same sort of thing, absolutely. Um,
Um, but no, I think what I like about this game is that there's so much going on. Like in a sense, it's like I enjoy being stressed out, which is so
and
sick.
I'm sorry, and yeah, and you were judging the Souls-like player. Come on.
Yeah, listen, there's different levels. That I don't, okay, I cannot do time crunches. I do not like any game that gives me a timer. I immediately panic. So like that would add on to the timer. That's like a timer. I can't do that one. That's a different
Mm.
kind of stress. This game, I feel like it has so much going on. Like obviously, I'm, I haven't played a ton of this either, but like even just like figuring out taxes,
That's
it's
yeah,
like,
that's the that I do think that is very interesting what they've done there, right? They've taken this is a town builder, but like take it to the extreme.
mhm.
And I
Which I
do
think
think
is
that's
very cool
interesting. Yeah. Oh no,
because it's
absolutely.
like,
I'm not saying this is a bad game, and I'm not saying that anything they've
yeah,
done
yeah,
is
yeah.
wrong. It just it does not work with my brain.
Yeah, no, and it's like, listen, I'm someone who also, like, you give me one thing that, like, sets me off the wrong way, and I'm like, I don't want to play this anymore.
Yeah.
So I totally, I'm not judging you on that one at all. But I do think, like, I love that you get to not only control a character and your people. Like, I think that is such a
I,
fun concept.
I agree. I agree because what I don't like about management games is that like it's just and they've not solved that in this game, but
Hmm.
it's menu management, right? Like that's the game.
Yes,
The game is menu
yes,
management.
which
They haven't
is,
solved that here, but I feel like they're moving in that direction, and I like that it could possibly go
yeah,
somewhere,
I feel like
you
it
know?
makes you feel more connected to the game, even though it's still
Hmm.
a menu game.
Hmm.
Like you are more involved in the actual world of the game
Exactly.
instead of being some overlord,
Agreed.
telling everybody what to do. Which this game still also is very much so.
Yeah, yeah, you are the overlord, but like it
But you're in the mud
makes
with
sense,
everybody.
and
You're
there's
in the
not
thick of
there's
it with
you
everybody.
are you are it's you are the monarch in the traditional sense of monarch, in so much as like you are the one that is creating this society and therefore you rule it. And I'm not saying that that is a good way to run society, but it's not like modern monarchies where it's like this person was born through this person, therefore they have control over you.
Hmm.
It's not the same sort of thing at all. And I don't, I, I'm not saying I want to go back to that way of ruling, but it made a lot more sense, I think, monarchy in that sort of world. And this, I think, creates that sort of world. Um, and it, whereas, like if you take SimCity, Mayor doing the thing that Mayor does, and that would get assassinated, right?
Yes.
Right? Like
Which is
none
so
of
funny
that
because
makes sense.
I don't think I ever viewed myself as the mayor of SimCity. I viewed myself as an all-powerful god.
Yeah, that's essentially what you are. But like
Yeah.
they don't,
But
they
like
pretend you
yeah,
are a
no,
mayor.
your metaphor totally makes sense because it's like, yes, if a mayor came in and just started like demolishing buildings and building highways and
Yeah,
doing all this stuff without any sort of
and creating
third party
earthquakes.
input, there would be massive consequences.
Hmm.
But it makes sense here because you are the queen.
Exactly.
Listen to my words or fall in the pit, you know? Um But I really do enjoy getting to control the character. And I think also, as a side note, they're very cute little rats. I think the graphics are so cute. I love
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
I love my little rats.
fair.
Um, I think resource management in this game is very interesting, and I think that's one of like the biggest challenges. Once you get past like, figuring out the overall mechanics of the game.
Yeah.
I know you said you haven't played that much, but like when I played the demo, one of my first biggest issues was just food. Because it's
Yeah, I've
like,
not even got to the point where you need food, right? Like I've
yeah.
built a toilet because they were all complaining about needing to go to
Oh
the
my God, the
toilet.
toilet.
Um, and but yeah, they've not none of them have complained about food yet, so it's not I'm not even that
Okay.
far.
Yeah, that was definitely my issue in the first run because I was like, oh my God, I need more rats. Let me just get some more rats.
Yeah.
I need to get these tasks done. And
I
then all of
think
a sudden it's like, oh, I have to feed these rats.
I think that's an interesting part of it, right? Because yeah, you start off going, oh, there's so much to do, and you get a rat, and they do stuff for you, and you're like, oh, I need more rats, and so
Hmm.
you start getting more and more rats as quickly as you can, and then suddenly you're like, oh no, I can't
Oh
just
no,
have these rats. I need to actually provide them with everything they need,
they need
and
beds, they
yeah,
need entertainment. I
yeah.
need to rotate the clowns so that the clowns don't get sad.
What a sentence! What a sentence!
That was like one of the first ones where I was like, what am I doing wrong?
So many things. Playing the game, probably. Uh,
Uh, but yeah, no, and then if you don't, so I don't want to jump mechanics here, but like also the fact that on top of everything else, you also have to monitor your rat population's needs and wants is very interesting because that's really just throwing a wrench in your juggling.
yes.
Um, but I don't know if I doubt you got to this point too, but like you have to set up so obviously there's taxes, which is an interesting mechanic.
Yep. For
Because
sure.
that really sets up like a class warfare if you're not careful about it.
Yep.
Um, but also there is jail and laws because they will try to kill each other and then they have to put them in jail.
Yep.
And then they get mad that they're in jail
Hmm.
as if they didn't try to stab another rat. And then they have to go see the clown because they're sad because they were in jail. So I like this game. I think it's very silly.
It is. It is very silly. You're not wrong.
um, but like I think all of that's like it's overwhelming at first trying to figure out all of those little pieces to get the game running smoothly in that aspect.
Yep.
And obviously with any sort of like colony sim builder game, you're not going to have smooth runnings for very long. Like that's kind of the whole point.
Yeah. I think the tutorial does that in a very handholdy way, which is probably
Hmm.
good for the start of the game, right? Because you don't
Yes.
immediately have to do everything that you would presumably need to be doing 5 hours into the game.
Yes. Which
Um,
and I'm not a big handholdy tutorial person, but I think they did this tutorial very
it,
well.
it's yeah, well, it's handholdy, but it's not. So I think part of the reason I don't like handholdy tutorials is they're like, now press this button,
Hmm.
now
It
press this.
doesn't
You
baby
don't
you.
need to do that. What it does is it says, hey, people need the toilet. You might want to build a toilet. And then there's
Yes.
a little icon on the button to get into the menu to build, and then it shows you where you. So it's like, I really hate when tutorials are like, the only thing you can do right now is press that button because
Yep,
we need
yep.
you to press that button. And it doesn't do that. But if you don't do what it says, you're going to have problems. And I think that's
Yes.
really good. I think it is absolutely the best way to do a tutorial, especially for this game.
No, absolutely. I think it's less that they're not babying you. They're, like a parent teaching you how to cross the street properly.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So I fully recommend like everybody does a tutorial if you play this game. It is very
Is it even
helpful.
possible to skip it? I feel like it's just like part of the game.
No, yeah, you could skip.
Can you? Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't see anything about that.
Maybe because it was your first run.
Yeah, maybe they only give that option after you've done it once. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, because I could see, imagine if they don't make you do the tutorial and then people start writing bad reviews because they don't understand the
Yeah,
game.
because people would do that.
Um, I'm also assuming that you did not get to any real combat.
No, I did not get to the combat. So tell me about the combat because I was assuming this existed somewhere, right? You're not going to get a thing like this, which is clearly trying to be mostly realistic without there being some sort of presumably enemy.
So obviously, like I said, you have like the internal conflicts, which are just dealing with people, dealing with your population, but you have creatures that potentially you will encounter when you're digging underground.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like there's rabbits, you kill the rabbits to eat them. But then there's also bumblebees.
Rats eating rabbits.
Yeah, isn't that kind of messed up? Um, so like it's figuring out how to handle different creatures like that.
Hmm.
But then you also have enemies, and they are like zombie underworld creatures.
Hmm.
And so usually what happens is there will be one gateway for them to come out of, or at least as far as I've seen, one gateway for them to come out of above ground.
Okay.
And that's typically close to where your base is.
Hmm.
And so, like, what you can do is you can set up different security measures. So like I set up a whole bunch of different like barricades and like traps and stuff so that once a raid starts, before my little warrior rats can get there, because you assign warrior rats, um, it stops like the stampede of zombies from getting to your base.
Yes.
Um, so that is as far as I've played pretty manageable so far. The issue comes in. You also get a random spawn enemy
Oh
inside
no.
your base,
Oh no.
and they can basically spawn anywhere.
Disaster.
So they can spawn, in your barracks and like your beds. They can spawn next to your toilets or in your food supply
Of
area.
course. Of course.
And so like so far, again, the raids that I've encountered haven't been hard to manage. It's more of like getting to them with a speed that prevents any real damage from occurring at first.
Yeah.
Because also, obviously, like when you first start, you don't have a ton of rats, so you're having people work multiple jobs and assigning like a few rats to like be warriors, but then they have to like, you have to make sure they're dropping their jobs when zombies come or like they're in the vicinity is tough,
Yeah.
especially as your like little colony starts to build because they can really just pop up anywhere. And you just really have to hope that your rat can get there fast enough before, some poor civilian dies.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. That one stresses me out. I don't like
Interesting is
that.
one way of putting it, I guess. Yeah.
I don't like that they just spawn inside, which is
Uh-huh.
another. So there's like a mechanic like that in RimWorld where like the bugs can just spawn inside, and I just basically turn that off
Mm.
because I don't want to deal with it. But I don't think you can turn it off in this one, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting, and it definitely, keeps you on your toes. You got to pay attention. You cannot fall into a lull of safety in this game. I do think
Yeah.
though that they warn you, if I remember correctly, because I didn't have a raid recently. They will warn you when an upcoming raid is happening.
Okay.
So I think you'll get like maybe I'm wrong on this, but I think I'm right. You'll get like you know, possible raid in like 3 days
Hmm.
kind of warning,
That's good.
which is good for planning out stuff. Like, so if it's like, oh, I want to take a trip on the top soil to go kill some more rabbits, I got to make sure I'm not going too far so that I'm close to the base,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which is also interesting. I like that aspect that you can like kind of explore up top.
Yep.
But
I
yeah,
agree.
I feel like I've been just babbling.
No, that's fine. No, that's absolutely fine. I think so. Here's the question. What I feel like we've probably covered most of the stuff enough to give people an idea of what this game is,
Hmm.
right? And the key point is this something you would like? And if there's one more thing, is there one more thing that you think is interesting about this compared to other games that might hook people if they haven't been hooked already?
I don't know. I think my biggest selling point really is that you get to be a character
Hmm.
because again, I think that's such like a unique um setup for these kind of games. Um I don't know. I think they just do a really good job overall of putting a lot of stuff into this game. Like
Yeah.
I think I could play this game and not touch on a good amount of the content.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. It's like you can tell that just by looking at the menus, right?
Hmm. And I do think it's very like you get to choose how you want to play. Like I'm taxing people so that there's nobody super rich. But you can make like crazy classes and like disparity
Yeah,
and to the point where people can't afford to use the toilet. So
not
I think
ideal.
that's like you can be very cruel.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
No, I would not do that either. I I am incapable of playing games on a bad scale. Um, I learned that very young. I think the only one I could play like that is The Sims, and even then I'm like, I gotta take care of you guys. Um,
You never put them in the pool without the.
I did. I
Oh,
did.
you did. Fair enough.
But like in Fable, I've never played Fable as an evil character. I could not do it. I'm very bad at like
I
doing
understand
the
that.
evil side of things. I don't know,
Yeah, I
even
understand
in
that.
games.
There's something
Um,
about it that feels a little bit weird when you do that. I
it
understand why some
does.
people would enjoy it, right? Because it's the escapism part of it.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely. It's just like
this is absolutely not a, oh, I can't believe that you're,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. Like,
I'm no
listen,
Elon
I've
Musk
I've
hating
drowned a
on
lot of
GTA because you have to
Sims
kill
in.
cops.
Okay, okay. Also GTA. Because in The Sims and GTA, I've killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
But those are my two games. Every other game, I'm like, I have morals.
Yeah.
Um, I think the other selling point for this game is that there is a demo that you can try for free,
Hmm.
and
Yes.
I highly
It's
recommend that.
very beefy.
Yes, it is a
I haven't,
good
I don't know
demo.
how long it is, but it's long enough. It's
I think
absolute.
it's
If you aren't
12 days of gameplay.
right, okay. Yeah, if you aren't sure based on this conversation, if you play that game, you'll be sure within half an hour whether you want to play the game.
Absolutely. Yes. Because I think I put in like 5 hours into the demo
Hmm.
and I hit the end of the 12 days. And that's when I put it down pre full release.
Yeah.
And I was completely sold. I was like, I don't know what they're going to be adding to this game that's not here already.
Yeah.
So it's a good demo. It's probably like one of the best demos I've ever played. But yeah,
Very good.
if you found anything we've discussed here interesting, I would highly recommend trying that.
Agreed.
But yeah, is there anything on your end that you?
No, I think I've explained why I don't like it, but again, it's not a it's not you, it's me.
Hmm.
And I think it is a really nice looking game. It feel I've not noticed any issues. It doesn't feel, thrown together. It feels like there was a lot of thought and care into it.
Hmm.
It's just the menus feel like spaghetti falling out of someone's brain. But if you like that, you'll like that. I do not like that.
That's completely fair. Spaghetti falling out of someone's brains.
Well, Kelly, thank you for joining me to talk about Ratopia.
Thank you for having me, Al. I was very excited to talk about this and for the game to actually be released.
Yes, exciting. Always good when a game finally manages to release their 1.0.
Yeah.
Where can people find you on the internet?
If you type in Ralamu, I'm sure I'll come up somewhere.
You can find me on Mastodon.Scott and on Blue Sky at the Scottbot. You can find the podcast on Tumblr and on Blue Sky at THS Pod. You can find, you can send us feedback on our website, harvestseason.club. Send us feedback. Don't do what Johnny did last week, which is listen to Kevin and just send skibbity in the feedback form. Send me something else. Tell me if you've played Ratopia. Do you enjoy looking through the plate of spaghetti that is the menus in this game? Or do you feel like you are wading through the maze of someone's brain? You can also on the website find links to everything, including a link to our Patreon, patreon.com/thspod, where you can support the podcast. You get access to our Slack. You also get access to our bonus podcast. We have one coming out on Saturday, the Saturday after this episode. Kelly, do you know what day that is? The 17th of May. What's happening on the 17th of May?
Uh, I don't know.
Eurovision!
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's Eurovision time again. Me and
Oh
Cody
God.
Me and Cody have recorded our pre-Eurovision episode where we talk about the songs that we are most excited about, our top five, plus what we would be annoyed with winning, even though we know what's going to win. Um, and then sometime after it, we will record and release our reaction to, and hopefully nobody gets disqualified on the day of the competition this time. Yeah.
Hopefully. that's like all I know about Eurovision.
Oh, that was stressful last year, shall we say.
Yeah, I'm sure. Exciting time for you guys though.
I'm excited. I'm so excited. It is, you never quite know what's going to happen. And I am ready. 1 week to go. I have everything planned. I'm ready to go. Eurovision time. Um, yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you again, Kelly, for joining me.
Thank you as always for having me. I always have fun.
Thank you, listeners, for listening. And until next time, have a good harvest.
Bye.
The harvest season is created by Al McKinley with support from our patrons, including our pro farmers Kevin, Stuart, and Elisa. Our art is done by Micah the Brave, and our music is done by Nick Burgess. Feel free to visit our website, harvestseason.club, for show notes and links to things we discussed in this episode. Oh, that cow is terrifying on Evergreen Valley VR.
You still have that up?
Yeah.
I literally could not look at that GIF. It was making me spinny.